People ask me, is oral sex good? Is anal sex good? Is masochism, if I'm pronouncing it well, that's the one that involves beating and choking and tying somebody's neck. That is okay. And is sex toys? Can a Christian use sex toys? And these are good questions. And number one, oral sex. Personally, I think oral sex is fine because I have scriptural understanding of it. Let me give you an example. Sex should be about me, it's not about selfishness, it's about selflessness. It's about me pleasing my partner pleasing me. People ask me all the time. So somebody asks me something like, hey, if I'm rushing to church and my spouse wants sex, what should I do? I said, it's very simple. If you're rushing to church, you're somewhere else, can be even another meeting, but this question was particularly sex. I was in a program I was preaching. If I'm rushing to church, and my husband wants sex, what do? I say it's very simple. There are two kinds of sex. There's beautiful sex and there's dutiful sex. So there are two kinds of sex, beautiful and dutiful. Beautiful is when we have all the time to do a lot of foreplay, do a lot of things, explore each other, take our time. That's beautiful sex. This happens usually when we're not going to work or anything like that, or the kids are not going to interrupt. But dutiful sex is what the people of the world call quickie. This means everything is going to be fast. Everything can happen under 1 minute or under 2 minutes or max under 3 minutes. Is dutiful sex. This one means sometimes one of both parties are not in the mood. In beautiful sex, usually both are in the mood. But in dutiful sex, one party might not be in the mood, but they understand that they have to give themselves to their partner. That's what the Bible says. So don't defraud your partner. That your body is not even your own. So it's part of your duties. So that's why I got the dutiful from. So you're offering your duty to your partner. So you are not so much in the mood, or you don't even have the time to make it beautiful, but you need to relieve your partner. You need to minister to, or serve your partner. So you do dutiful sex. It's usually rushed, usually fast. Sometimes only one person really enjoys it because it's a service to the person. So, that's what I think about that. You can do it. Now, next questions, and this is where I'll round it up. So people ask me, is oral sex good? Is anal sex good? Is masochism, if I'm pronouncing it well, that's the one that involves beating and choking and tying somebody's neck. That is okay. And is sex toys? Can a Christian use sex toys? And these are good questions, and they are very pertinent questions. And I'm going to put this disclaimer. This is my own view from the little I know about the Word of God and the Spirit of God I have, and over 20-something years experience in marriage counseling. So this is my own opinion. Now, you don't have to take it. There's somewhere I answered this question in one church on oral sex. They didn't invite me again. But thank God this is my YouTube page, so I'll invite myself for the next YouTube video. All right, but the point is that, is oral sex okay? Is anal sex okay? Masochism, sex toy, masochism, and sex toys and things like that, are they okay? Because they're becoming rampant. This is, are they okay in sex? Now, there are a few rules I need to point out to you. Number one, when it comes to sex in general, number one, our desires don't control us. As powerful as sexual desire is, it's important for it not to control you. God doesn't even want anything to control you except Him. So sexual desires don't control us. People tend to think that we are meant to just yield to our desires. No, desires must have limits. Boundaries protect us. Boundaries don't only limit us, they actually protect us. So the boundary in your house, which is called the fence, is stopping you from going out just anyhow, but it's stopping people that you don't want to come in from coming in. So boundaries protect us. So desires must have limits. You can't have desires that have no limits. We don't live by our desires. We don't just follow our desires. So that's rule number one. Desires have limits. We are not under our desire. Desires don't control us. This is an important rule, because some people make it look like, oh, I must, engage any desire I have. Any desire I have, I must go after it. You will be an animal to do that. You can't go after every desire. Just because you have a desire doesn't make it legal, doesn't make it right. There's what is called inordinate affection. Inordinate desires. That means there are desires that are not wholesome, desires that are not healthy, desires that are not approved, desires that are not good. There are desires like that are not good for you. So you are not under the bondage of your desires. You need to understand this, guys. If we're going to talk about these issues, that's rule number one. Because your desires are so bad that there are people that desire having sex with the same sex. There are people that desire having sex with children. There are people that desire having sex, with animals. There are people that desire to be flogged. So there are all kinds of desires. So we don't live by those desires. Okay, very, very important. There are people that desire rape. Do you understand? There are people that's their desire, to be raped or to rape somebody. I've seen people, that's their own thing. That's their own fetish, as they call it in the sex world. That's their own fetish. That's their own thing. That's what turns them on. It doesn't make it right. You see, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It doesn't make it right. We don't just follow our desires. There are people that want to have sex with multiple partners at the same time. They call it threesomes and foursomes. There are people that want to have an orgy. You know, these things are not as uncommon as you think. You know, that means 30 or 20 people or 10 people all come together in a room and they all just exchange each other. I'm telling you, this is not going to. There are people that have swingers. These are people that are married couples, but they swing. That means 2 or 3 married couples come together and they allow each other to sleep with the other person's wife, sleep with the other person's husband. All these are desires, and they are all, you see, we are not denying your feelings. We're just saying that all feelings are not right. You can't deny your feelings, yes, but you need to be able to identify that, is this a right feeling or a wrong feeling? And can I change my feeling? Yes, you can change your feeling. You can change your orientation and change your feeling. You can. We're not subject to our feelings. No. So it's like me saying, oh, I feel like slapping someone, I feel like killing someone. So you're going to tell me to honor that feeling? No, I'm not going to honor that feeling. If I honor that feeling, there will be repercussions. Somebody will die. I will go to prison. Do you understand? So we're not subject to our feelings. Okay, that's rule number 1 in terms of sex. Rule number 2. I'm going to give you 5 rules, then I'll answer your questions individually. Rule number 2 is the act bringing us closer as a couple. That's the 2 people, not the 3 people, not the 10 people. Is this act bringing these 2 people, the couple, the married couple, is the act bringing them closer? Or is it making them apart, far from each other? This thing, is it making us more intimate? This act, is it making us closer? Okay, that's rule number 2. Or is it taking us apart? Number 3, is it safe? That's the question I must ask. This act, is it safe in terms of physically, health-wise? Is it safe? If you're asking somebody to hang from a building, hang from a fan, pulling somebody's neck, choking them, and all those things, is it safe? Now, you need to answer this for yourself. I'm not going to impose my own ideas. Is it safe and is it healthy? Is the act the type that can bring disease, or any health scare or challenge? Number 4, I believe. Yes, number 4. Does it cause shame and guilt? This act, does it make one or both of us feel ashamed and feel guilty after the act, especially as married couples? Does it make us feel guilt and shame? If it affects how I see myself, if it affects myself, as if it affects how I believe God is seeing me, then shame and guilt is being introduced. That means something's wrong with the act. And last rule, does it put us in bondage? This act, does it, capture us and take us captive? Just using drugs or using this toy or using that thing, does it put us in bondage? Does it put us in bondage? Does it bring freedom or bring bondage to the act? Okay, so these are the 5 rules I believe you need to ask yourself before you indulge in any of these things. Now let me answer them one by one to the best of my ability. Number 1, oral sex. Personally, I think oral sex is fine because I have scriptural understanding of it. Let me give you an example. The Bible didn't really put so much. You see that God didn't intentionally put so much control on people's sex bed. He wants the husband and wife to feel free to explore. Is your bed, is your sex, is your spouse, explore each other. So he didn't intentionally mention too many do's and don'ts. However, I've mentioned those rules that I think are general rules. Now, another thing you have to notice is that, is oral sex bad? The question is, can I kiss my wife on the lips? If I can't, can a guy kiss his wife on the neck? He can't. Can he kiss his wife on the breast? He can't. Can he kiss his wife on the back? He can't. Can he kiss his wife's thighs? He can't. And if he can kiss any part of the wife's body, then he's free to do so. That's what I believe. And oral sex is just part of you kissing your spouse in a certain place. All right. So I believe that is okay. And medically, it has been proven that there's nothing wrong with it in terms of, these are things you can research for yourself and make your decision. Remember, this is my opinion based on what I've known over the years. Feel free to discard it or accept it. Is your job. Now, number 2. So I think oral sex is fine. I don't see any problem with it. Now, if both parties don't want, that's absolutely okay. You see, I've counseled couples where both of them are totally adverse to it, and that's fine. If one person wants, the other person doesn't want, it means they have to find a way to compromise. The person that wants needs to be patient with the person that doesn't want, to see if they will grow to accept it. And the person that doesn't want should also be considerate. There is a need for the other person. And remember, marriage is about pleasing each other, not pleasing self. In fact, that's the main difference between single sex and married sex. Single sex, you're trying to please yourself, really. In married sex, you understand that you're here to serve. One is an offering to the other person. So the person that wants it needs to be patient with the person that doesn't want to grow into liking it introduce it to them gradually, encourage them to do it, give them their time to grow. The person that doesn't want it needs to be considerate of the person that wants it, and see if they can explore and try it. If both of you love each other, it shouldn't be a problem for both of you to compromise. You see, that's the main thing God always focuses on. If the love is there, most of the challenges can be solved. Love covers a multitude of sin. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love doesn't hold record of wrong. Love doesn't seek its own good. You see, so when there's love, a lot of things are taken care of. Most times when people are dragging these issues, because something is fundamentally wrong with the marriage. Okay, so that's for oral sex. Number 2, anal sex. Personally, I'm not a big fan. I don't subscribe to it. Like I said, this is my opinion. I don't subscribe to it. Medically, they've said that there's a high chance for you to contact something if you are practicing anal sex. And that thing is that part of your body is generally an exit. It's not an entry. Anytime somebody enters a place that they wrote no entry, or there's an exit, from my experience, you are arrested or you are fined. Something good is not going to come out of it. Something bad usually happens when you enter a place where you're not. In my country, in last month, they can impound your vehicle. They can seize your vehicle for driving, against traffic. So for me, it's a no-no. I'm not a big fan of it. Remember, you're not subject to your desires. Remember that. So don't make it look like, oh, if I don't have anal sex, I'm going to die. It's not true. You developed that desire. You can also diminish that desire and channel your energy somewhere. You can, with help and discipline. All right. So, for me, I'm not a big fan of anal sex. I feel that place is an exit, not an entry. And medically, they said it's a high chance. That's why they said people that practice homosexuality have a high chance of contracting HIV. Now, all these studies are available. You can cross-check it for yourself, and check it out. Okay, masochism. It's masochism. All right. I don't know the name because I don't do it. Masochism. All right. So this one involves beating somebody, choking somebody, and things like that, dominatrix and things like that. I'm not a big fan again. I just think it's abusive behavior. I think it's weird. That is my opinion. And I think it's dangerous. People have also died trying to practice those kind of things. I've choked each other and killed somebody. So I'm not a big fan of flogging. When I was young, flogging represented something very bad. When they flogged you and beat you in primary school for not doing your assignment is traumatic. I wonder how adults are now beating themselves. Psychologists are even saying we shouldn't even beat kids. Now adults are flogging and beating themselves. So I'm not a big fan. But follow the 5 rules I mentioned. I think they are important. Then sex toys. Sex toys for me, I'm not a big fan again. Like I just feel it's not bringing the couple closer. They're introducing a third party. They're introducing a third equipment. This equipment often means that when one partner is not available, I can use this equipment on myself. That's what it means. It's not. I don't think it's making the couple closer. That's what I feel. Now, like I said, this is my opinion, and I know some people who have their own views, and that's absolutely fine. But I think put it by the 5 rules I mentioned. If it passes the test and you feel you want to explore it, that's fine. But I'm not a big fan of it because I just feel sex should be about me. It's not about selfishness, it's about selflessness. It's about me pleasing my partner pleasing me. All right? So it's not about just satisfying yourself. That's not really what it's about. So a lot of sex toys are also highly used for masturbation, because they're structured in a way that you can just use it to give yourself pleasure. And that's a different discussion. But I'm just trying to talk about that. I'm not a big fan of sex toys. All right, I believe a couple should work together to stimulate themselves by themselves. That's what I feel. And maybe there might even be some sex toys that seem okay. I don't know. I've not explored that. I'm not a big fan, but this is what I think. So I hope this video has been helpful. It's a tough topic. Let me wear my glasses back.